The broadcast is live. Let's see. Okay. I wonder. It says 20 seconds. That wasn't that long. All right. Let's see what shows up. It's kind of random. Shut. I wonder. I need to get control over here too. Random. Wonder. And then I'll just wait. Yeah. And I'll do that. I should play fucking years right now. Let's see. This on IG or something. IG. That's better. Let's see what up. Welcome to the party. So welcome to this Friday stream. It's really just like, damn, what am I gonna do for Friday? I feel like some Friday fun. So like host a little stream and I got so it's a chill stream, got a couple updates to share, got some drinks, and talk about a set of comics. All these I read recently, within the last week or so, give or take. So that's kind of be, and then it's kind of hang out. So what's going on with you? How you doing? Hopefully this doesn't get too. Can you hear me? You know that too. Hopefully that'd be awful. Right here, but can you hear me? Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, so what's going on with you? What's going on with you this week? Today, what you got planned for the weekend? What you been reading? Whatever. We got. Hold on, what is this? I got Black Mass. Wait, what is it? Yeah, Black Mass Comics. Got Image, DC, Black Label, DC, Vertigo. Rest in peace, Vertigo, and some Marvel. Maybe a couple more people in here before I start showing off some of the stuff I read and talk about that. But it's a little mix, mainstream indie stuff here. So, what you been reading this week? What'd you pick up? Or if you haven't picked up anything yet, what are you looking forward to? A few things actually. I still got to do my comic cover art of the week post. All my picks for this week. What we got? I just want to ask you, what's your prized possession? What comic are you most proud of from your collection? Ooh, that is a good one, man. You know what? It's I'm always so tempted for this one, similar like a question like this, to go with my favorite comic, Uncanny X-Men 304. But is that my most proud? I mean, I guess it's my favorite. So that one and the Uncanny X-Men 304, which is part of Fatal Attractions, and X-Men, the it's a special edition, the Toys R Us special edition, and I have a few of those as well. So those two, well, I have like 5, 6 copies of Uncanny X-Men 304. I think I got 3 copies of. Oh, you know what? Oh, hold on. Okay, so Uncanny X-Men, I couldn't find. I found where some other Fatal Attractions books were, but for some reason I took the Uncanny out because I think I took that out for show off in another video. So that's probably why it wasn't in there. But these are some other cool ones, and these top two might be up there actually, just because I'll say those for last. But they're actually all the same. Well, not the same issue, but so uh, this is. Hopefully, you can get this in there. Oops, glare, extreme glare. Doing this ass backwards too. Or this is X-Men 200, the David Finch cover. This one's signed by David Finch, Humberto Ramos, Chris Bacallo. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, it's a full gatefold cover. So not even just straight wraparound. It opens up like 4 panels, I think. So that one that was cool because I finally got to meet Chris Bacallo last 2 years ago. Uh, X-Men 200. This is the Ramos variant. Oops, that's terrible glare. Should do something about those. One of those. I'm not used to filming and recording here. I never really do. This is again the Ramos and who's the inker on this one? Oh my god. Oh, Delgado. But Ramos and Bacallo signed that. And then these next two are two of my absolute favorite books. Love these covers. I have several copies of each of these. Here's the X-Men 200, which I've shown off a few times, and I have this one framed side by side, like opened up because it's a full wraparound. And I have this one framed with a copy of the X-Men, the Humberto Ramos cover, side by side because it's kind of the X-Men versus the Marauders kind of facing each other. So I thought that was dope. I showed that framed book off. But when I got to meet Bacallo last year, he put a couple, you kind of see all the X's on there. He went wild. I was like, yes, go ahead. Absolutely. You can do all of that. Hopefully this shows up. Is this showing up well? I'm like trying to balance the camera now. And I got the glare. And I just turned on my Xbox. I forgot. Let me get that. So that probably helps there. So that one, and let's see. So we have a Colin Ramos on that, and he's got all those X's on there. And then this one though, this one is fantastic. This is Amazing Spider-Man 555. One of my, I just love this cover. Wolverine Spidey. This was part of it was a 3-issue arc. Yeah. With Zeb Wells, Tim Townsend, and I think is that Antonio Fabella? But he signed this one, and then he's like, "Oh, can I ask him?" Yes, you can absolutely. He put the web there with his name or around his name, and these two are probably up there because after Jim Lee, Chris Bacallo is my next favorite artist, and he might surpass him just because. I mean, I just love so much of both of their work, but yeah, these two are up there as well. So I was crazy geeked when I finally got to meet him 2 years ago at Ace Comic Con. But yeah, those two are probably, I don't know, maybe this Wolverine and Spider-Man one because he's done work on both titles, like X-Men and Spider-Man titles. So this one might be up there as far as like prized possessions. So that's just gorgeous. And because I have 2 sets of each of these signed. Yeah, that's right. And he did remarks on both of those. Is that what they call remarks? But yeah, so those probably definitely up there as far as prized possessions. Yeah. So I didn't like I have man, but yeah, I always usually either go back to those or Uncanny X-Men 304. I just love that book because just like Fatal Attractions, I already talked about that before, but Fatal Attractions and just that issue alone just has so much, which encompasses everything that I love about the X-Men. You got like Professor X and Magneto's relationship, just all the different mutants, like all the different X-Men teams were there gathering for Ileana's funeral with X-Men, X-Force, X-Factor. All those are there. Magneto and the Acolytes were there, crashing the funeral, and then Colossus with the betrayal, and just kind of the death and family and those friendships and relationships. Like that's all encapsulated within that one issue, and I love it. X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 304. The only thing is, there's like 6 artists who work on it, and some like a couple pages, and then like John Romita Jr. did the cover, and then he has a good chunk of the interior, but not all of it. It's so many creators. It was just crazy. Shout out to my other guests in there, whoever you are. Jump in, say what's up. Thank you for joining the stream. This Friday fun stream. We're just hanging out, talking comics. We get into some stuff and a couple updates to share, and then having some drinks. So, or a drink right now. And then again, got some stack of books. Probably talk about a little bit. Yeah, we'll start. Why not? Let's start with. Actually, we'll start with my girl since this one is a couple. Actually, I don't know how long this one is, but Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, #1. This one is not a great read. Not at all. It really isn't. I was really kind of disappointed. It's one of 8, Infinite Frontier. So I was happy to see Supergirl back, but and like half the issue has nothing to do with her. So I was just disappointed. It was like, oh come on, like, and I was like, oh, is this what Tom King does? So maybe like I don't know. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep reading and kind of see where they kind of go creatively. Like, all right, are they geared towards something? But I don't know. But yeah. So Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. What about you? What's your thing about just your entire collection? What would be your prized possession or just one of your favorite comics that you covet? I guess if you want to say that. If you had to pick one or a couple, I'm not gonna hold you to it. Like I said, I can always think of usually run down a few. And I'm glad that you asked that because I thought about those and I was just like looking at those. Oh man, it's so cool. All these X-Men 200s, especially, just beautiful pieces of work and such a cool story too. The X-Men and the Marauders, the Exodus in there, which I always love. Omega Sentinel, I just picked up her action figure. Actually, that was a couple months ago, I think. But yeah, so if you get to pick a comic or two, like some of your prized possessions, what do you got? What would you say? First comic is my favorite. Something that's singer the weekend released as a promo called Starboy. Oh, I know that. I know what that one is. Why does that sound familiar? Take a look at that. Oh wait, that's not it. I feel like I can see it in my head. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that now. What year was that? It was like a lifetime ago. I do remember that now. Oh yeah. Huh. You like the weekend, or did you just happen to? Oh, you did say wait. Senior weekend recently. So how did you come across that one? Like as your first comic? Was it just because you like the weekend? I like some of the songs too. There's one song I had on repeat. I just love the beat of it. Nothing compares. I think that's the name of it. Daredevil that you found in an auction. Did you ever sell it? That Daredevil. Oh, that the one that I found at the estate sale. Daredevil 131. That bullseye. Hell no, I'm keeping that. Oh, that's cool. Shout out to that person. That was cool. When they got you that, especially if that was your first comic, kind of launched you into the hobby. Like that's cool as hell. But yeah, that Daredevil 131, that first appearance of Bullseye. No, I kept that. I listen. I'll tell the story again. But it was what was I gonna say? When I got to the estate sale, when I finally got in, there was somebody else in front of me, and he was already digging. He had already been digging through and found a nice little stack of books. And then when right after we kind of were just next to each other, the boxes weren't that many boxes, and I was kind of flipping through, and I think he had stepped away. He had stepped away for a bit, and he's like, "I'll let you get in." I was like, "Oh man, I ain't gonna rush you. I'll stay right here until you're ready, like till you move on." I wasn't pressed about it. So I like after he walked away, I was kept digging through and I saw it and I recognized it right away. Like that's Bullseye, and I know 131. But I'm just thinking, how is this still here? Like, how did he take this? And the price tag on it was $4, $4 American, and I was just thinking, like, no way. So I had to look online instantly. I'm like, I gotta see if there are reprints of this. It was like there had like, there's no way he passed this up. but he was really kind of going after stuff in higher grades. This is probably mid grade. I think I have to double check. I haven't looked at it in a little while, but yeah, $4 on the price tag, and then even it was I paid less than that, like three, maybe who knows. I got a discount on my entire purchase, which was a stack of comics and a couple of DVDs. So I got a discount on the entire purchase with several dollars. So that knocks off some of that $4 price tag. So yeah, I'm keeping that. It's like who knows? I don't even know if the prices of Daredevil 131 even go for right now. Especially, I mean, we're probably a couple years removed from the Netflix series, so who knows? But yeah, I'm not getting rid of that. Oh, the illusion. We went to zero. But yeah, I'm never getting rid of Daredevil 131. Unless if I find a better copy at a fantastic price, oh yeah, I keep that. Yeah, no problem. Or move one. Like I really no I don't really buy like duplicates of big keys like that outside of I got a couple copies of Amazing Spider-Man 361, but like I don't even know what the hell Daredevil 131 even goes for right now. But I wouldn't I don't know, intention of probably picking up more unless again if I come across something at like another copy at a fantastic price or something. So after you got that book, what what was like your next step after you like got that and read that? Like what'd you do next as far as comic stuff? Like how did that kind of propel you forward? I don't even know the content of that book. Like what is that book even about? Right, that's I was about to Star Wars. Comic first printing. Eric, when is on that too? First announced at New York Comic Con. Oh, in 2017 when it was announced anyway. The Weekend sued for trademark infringement. By who? It comes from the writer. Oh, Universe years ago. What? Hmm. Look at that more. I wonder what happened with that. But yeah, so like what happened? Like you got that as a gift. Shout out to that person because that's cool. Comics as a gift are fantastic. And then it was like, oh, like comics are fantastic. I was saving it, but then I want to get away from your. Oh yeah, and then I've just been reading. Oh wow, so okay, so you really new to comics, and I thought you had been into it for a long, like longer. But that's cool. Yeah, I don't remember what giveaway that was. Was that the variants one? I don't remember now. It was either I have no idea which one that was. Was that the variants? Did you win the variants one? 'Cause I know I did the giveaway for variants, and then this last one was the reader boxes. I think what other ones I did. I did an X-Men one. I don't remember. I think it probably was the variant one, wasn't it? We're in DC. Which one do let me do that. Boom. That's fancy. So yeah, what other DC characters did you get into? Oh, what was the Batman one? That's right. I forgot about that one. Who the hell won the variant one then? I don't remember who that was. Oh yeah, I remember the Batman one. That was good. Damn, I packed that one cool. Did you like all that? Because that was like the Batman Ultimate Batman prize pack. That was cool. I have some fun putting that together. what what other DC stories did you check out after that? I mean, DC is oof. I think what's just like and what are the yeah? So what are the DC books did you check out and then falls deep into Batman right now? You got something in common with Catwoman. Yeah, you got plenty of stuff with Batman. Like plus Batman's always has several damn titles. A Batman tattoo. Hey, there you go. I see a lot of those. Hey, that Batman shirt. It's like the Batman. It's black with the yellow logo. I think Herm has. I don't know if you know Herm. What is? I don't know what his YouTube channel is now. It's like Herm Comics or something. But he has the same Batman shirt. Got some Teen Titans. I think I've already read like one Teen Titans book. I've seen some of the cartoon or episodes of several of their cartoons a couple times, but have you watched the live action show? I haven't seen that. I don't even know how deep that is. Isn't it like second season or something? Yo, who's in the chat? Welcome to the party. Sound off. Let us know. Show yourself. I think it was Teen Titans and I always felt like I guess it was probably different back then. But whenever I see like Nightwing with them now, I was like, why? Like he's like grown well beyond that. But I feel like he's grown a lot more, or he's been allowed to grow a lot more than some of the other Teen Titans members have. Like some of them still seem, I guess, uh, Starfire has too. And then obviously Cyborg elevated to Justice League status, which is good, especially with a good costume upgrade as well. Because his original look was rough. Oh, no, that's not it. Trying to get that comment. There we go. Look at that. I'm a fan of a lot of TV show. Yeah, I haven't even seen it yet. But I'm just thinking about some of the characters who's like Nightwing is on there, isn't he? And Starfire. I don't even know. Is Beast Boy on there? I will like. How did they do that live action? Can't imagine that. I have no idea who that roster is. Who's in the chat? Show yourself. We're just hanging out. Let's show off some more comics I've been reading and talk about those and pouring up some drinks. I got a couple updates too. We'll see who else jumps in before I start digging into that. Let's see, another book we got here. Nice House on the Lake, DC. Wait, somewhere should they even Justice League level? Even Robin isn't Justice League level. Well, I guess. Let me see. So, who was Robin when? Which Robin? I don't even know all damn Robins outside of. I get them all mixed up. And what the hell was Tim Drake doing? I don't know. Obviously, Dick came Nightwing, and we got Damian and Jason off the rails. But what the hell is Tim Drake doing? Is he even still in the comics? I don't even know. I don't think I've ever. I don't know how much Tim Drake I've ever read in the damn in comics. I remember he was on. Tim was on the animated one of the animated series. I think. I can't even get all that together. Nice House on the Lake, #1, DC, Black Label, everything. Apparently, because everything James Tynion the Fourth writes is instant gold for some reason to a lot of people. Everybody's like buying it up. It was a solid read. I think the concept. I think half of the book was like the first half of the book was it's like you start off a book and then you introduce so many characters and details about them. It's like I have no intent. I'm not going to be able to remember all these people. So when I get the second issue in my next shipment, I'm gonna have to go back. I'll reread the first issue. I'll have to look back at it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna remember any of these people. They got names, and then they got like these kind of titles, like artist and singer and pianist or something like. I think artist. There's a pianist. Or who else is there? I don't remember. I'm not gonna remember all those people. And there was like several of them, and then like several details about them, like when one of the characters met everybody else. Like, come on, nobody's gonna remember all that. So by the time I get the second issue, I'm gonna have to reread that. So, but that's okay. And then, oh wait, this one was cool. So this is Four Horsemen from Vertigo, no longer existing Vertigo. We get that in there. Blair. It's a 4-issue miniseries dubbing around the Four Horsemen, who I always enjoy in pretty much any form of fiction. And that's #3. And then #4. So I read this a couple weeks ago, and then I think was it last week? I don't remember. But this was the subject of the video I dropped last Thursday, which was kind of I wanted to start like a actual series, actually talking about comics more or actual stories more. So it's kind of like a comic retrospective. And what was I gonna say? So I dropped the video and just talking about everything, like just the idea of the story and everything that happened, which I thought was dope. Like the four horsemen who arrived on Times Square, December 31st, 1999, right as the countdown, the 10-second countdown, and then like the four issues take place kind of over the course of like that first, I don't even know, maybe even into the early morning. But each issue centers around each of the horsemen. They get on this scene. There's this big concert being held, and uh, like by this big kind of evil company, sort of. But like they kind of come in the song that the concert that the lead singer is singing is about the apocalypse, and she's shouting their names, but it's just her song. And then so they hear their names and they hear apocalypse. They're like, oh yeah, we're being called, but nobody's fearing them. Like nobody cares that they're there. Like people aren't paying attention to them at all, so they're just confused as hell. And so like, why is nobody fearing us? That type of thing. So then they see a bar across the street, and so that's where a lot of the story takes place. Like they're just hanging out in the bar, and it's just hilarious. Just the shit that like they're just talking about why nobody's fearing them and how they need to kind of they're kind of looking at their duties and then how that plays into the future, like what they're going to do to bring about the apocalypse, basically. But they kind of there's few of them, a couple of them take turns being bartender. So I dropped this whole video about this, and I put in like it took crazy time to edit. I put in all this other like doing the pictures that I put in there, and I got absolutely nothing for views, which is kind of leading to my one of the updates tonight. But it was like I had like 11 views. Like what? I thought you said like just put in just so much time and nobody watched that damn video. I was like, what the hell? I was like, this is something I wanted to do, and I would have fun doing it, but like nobody watched that video. I was like, wow. And I did like if you notice, like over the last 2 weeks, not this week, but the previous 2 weeks until Friday, I had started like, oh, let me go back to doing daily uploads Monday through Friday. Until that one, I was like, what? And after that, I was like, oh, this is wild. Like, oh man. But yeah. So and getting back to the story, they I think it's who is it? Not pestilence. It's either pestilence or famine. They're like they're talking to the bartender, they storming this bar, and the bartender's like, oh blah blah blah. They kind of rough him up. And then he's like, oh, this is New York City or Times Square. We got Girl Scout tougher than you guys. But Pestilence stabs him in the arm, and then the bartender's just basically he's in the bathroom. He's throwing up the rest of the night. So we kind of see him a couple more times, but he's just in the bathroom. He's sick. He's throwing up. So then a couple of the horsemen end up taking over as bartender for for the rest of the night. They're like, oh, like it's like, hey, somebody's like people walk in, like, hey, is he gonna be all right? Like, yeah, don't worry about him. I got you. What do you want? That type of thing. And then several times, some of my favorite shots are them like all the horsemen sitting in a booth together, they're drinking. And then at one point, War goes on this tirade about something. And each of the other horsemen are like, okay, cool. But why don't you go fetch another bottle? And then the next panel is War going on this long rant again. And like Death might say, okay, yeah, but why don't you go fetch another bottle? And then it kind of happens again. The other horseman says, okay, yes, but go get another bottle. Because they've been drinking all night. And then he finally gets up. He's like, oh, I'll go get another bottle. And one of the horsemen said, I think it was Death, says, I forgot how he worded it, but he's like, oh, no, I'll get, or he's like, no, don't worry about it. I'll get, if you insist, that type of thing. I thought it was hilarious with just their interactions. And then each of the issues centers around, again, for everybody who just jumped in, a couple more viewers there. Shout out to all of you. Sound off in the comments. Let us know who you are. But talking about Four Horsemen from Vertigo, 4-issue miniseries, V2K, part of their kind of bringing in the Millennium movement. It just centers around the Four Horsemen. So each of the issues focuses on each of the horsemen and kind of their interactions with a different human. And some of their stories kind of intertwined. but it's kind of cool. It's like some of my favorite things in comics are just interactions between characters, and so seeing like the Horsemen interact with each other, and then with all these other people that they run into in this bar, is just wild. And seeing them be like seeing them play bartender, and just all the other things that they do was just hilarious. It was such a cool read. I was glad I picked it up. So we got Robert Rhodey and Asad Ribic. If you, some of you might know Asad Ribic. This is again from what 2000, so or 99 going 2000. Or yeah, no, it's actually all in 2000. But his interior on this was completely different style. So I was like, oh, that was kind of interesting. That was uh, part of the factor of this too, like seeing a different style from him. So I kind of dug that. But yeah, so that's Four Horsemen, and then we got a couple more people in here. I'll show off these books. So Sir Jesse right there had asked, what was my most prized possession in my collection? Outside of, well, if you don't know, Uncanny X-Men 304 is my favorite, but I think probably Amazing Spider-Man 555, signed by Chris Bacalo here. Get that in the shot with a little webbing there. And then X-Men 200, signed by Humberto Ramos and Chris Bacalo, are definitely up there. I got a couple remarks. But yeah, here I'll show those off for a couple more people in the chat, or a couple more people in the stream. And then, yeah, we're just having drinks. Fine. We got Cardi, Dragonberry, and some Sprites. We're just hanging out, chill stream. Like, whatever, like other people in the chat, let us know who you are. Have a question, a comment. Otherwise, we're just kind of just chilling low key. Turn my AC off for or get rid of the noise. So, but yeah, let's see what else we got. You might have read this. This is Geiger #1 and #2. I picked these up at the 4th of July sale a couple weeks ago, or yeah, 2 weeks ago, give or take. It was okay. I think I don't know a lot of people are digging it, but I was looking at some reviews of it just to see what the hell the people were talking about. And I mean, I'm not really a big Jeff Johns fan or Gary Frank, honestly, but I was like, oh, new book, let me check it out. Some irradiated wasteland type stuff. So it was okay. I don't know if I'll pick up the third issue to see where it's gone. But yeah, who else in the chat? What else has everybody been reading? What are you picking up this week? If you picked up your books, what do you read? What have you read? What are you planning to read? What are you looking forward to? Let us know. We want to hear it. Otherwise, we just keep talking and showing off some different books. So it's Geiger 1 and 2. Let's see. It doesn't get too noisy. But yeah, what else we got? Everfrost from Black Mask. This one, I saw the cover was just, I don't know, the cover just stuck out to me, so I had to check it out. I got to give this a reread though, because I read this at night. I like to read a lot of comics at night before bed, or just at night, period. And I read this one when I was tired. So, like, at one point I had to stop, like, pause, and like just put my head down for a second. Here's a little shot of the interior. But I was like, I got to give this a reread. I didn't give it a fair shot because I was just tired. And I think the second issue came out last week. So depending on how I feel after I reread it, I might end up ordering that one to come on my next shipment. Here's your opening shot. Black Mask. I don't have many books from Black Mask, but I like the cover, especially the coloring there. So yeah. What are some other stuff you read? Like as far as Batman stuff, did you pick up any like collected editions? I don't know. I mean, obviously plenty of those. Oh, you know what you should get? That oh wait, that was in the. Did I send you a copy of the what was it? The 10 I might have to turn it back on. We'll see how this is the noise. The Batman, it was the hardcover. I sent you a copy of that one. That was in the giveaway too, wasn't it? I think I did throw that one in there because I ended up getting a second copy of that with my because I got the Superman and the Batman 2 pack. How's that? Can you hear that? Okay, see. But yeah, that one. I'm trying to think. There's plenty of other like some good collected editions for Batman. So especially with just all that time, like Detective Comic stuff and all the different like the miniseries, maxi series that have been out there. Trying to think, what are some? I have Hush, the 80 years hardcover, and it's not that long, so hopefully that should be all right. I heard it kept it on. I think you got some Batman and Teen Titans. I couldn't recommend anything for Teen Titans. I'm pretty sure they should have a few good collected editions out there if you're trying to do that, go that route. Unless are you look interested in single issues or like collector editions? Beef your bookshelf up a little bit, or do you have a preference? Does it matter? Boom. What's in the chat or in the stream? Welcome to the party. We're afraid. Just hanging out, talking comics. Where do you recommend buying Batman, DC Comics, and what prices are? Uh, if you're interested, if you're talking about single issues, man, I mean, you're talking about Batman and Detective Comics, and just they got some substantial runs. Like a lot of the stuff from the current runs, like you can get, they're not going to be too expensive. You just want to catch up on current stuff. But if you're talking going back, obviously the further you go back, the higher the price is going to be. But I always use mycomicshop.com a lot and eBay. But you can probably, I would check eBay if you want to pick up like because you probably be able to find some good runs on eBay or lots of either series. It depends if you're looking for the main series, Batman or DC or Detective Comics. You should be able to find pretty good runs of either title. But if you want to go through all their other series that have been on, like all the other Batman series, Legend of the Dark Knight, Shadow of the Bat. Let me see. He's had several. So it depends on what you're looking for because prices are going to be all over the place. Depends again, depending on how far you're going to go back. So I would just look on eBay and mycomicshop.com to my comic shop or any other like online retailer just to get an idea of like what series you want to go for. Even if I'm like, I use mycomicshop.com, even if I'm not gonna buy something, like if I'm just looking up something, like I can look up a premise of a book or just to see how many issues something ran for. Like that's usually my go-to since I use it for like sub stuff and back issues a lot anyway. And then eBay, like I pick up a lot of stuff on eBay, or I have picked up a lot of stuff on eBay. And then you can also, I was gonna say, I guess it's just a great way to see like prices of different things. Like you can check what people are trying to list right now, and then you can also see what prices for sold items. But if you're looking at like current listings, don't go by the buy now because people list their auctions at buy now prices, like at obscene buy now prices, and then those same items don't sell, especially if they don't accept best offers. Because people will sit like nobody. If you like outprice yourself, like you're just gonna be sitting on an item. I don't understand why people do that. And then yeah, so it all depends on like if you're just trying to get back single issues with those like two main series. Yeah, I mean that's gonna be some good hunting. If you got like what are the comic shops? You got any good comic shops around you and carry like good back issues? That's a good place to start too. But you guys worry about like books being marked up. So yeah, those are that's a good couple places to start right there. As far as like doing some research, and just kind of checking out a few things. So I think I got into DC in 2005, 2006 when I finally branched out, and it's because I went to conventions. When I started going to conventions, and I started seeing all this other stuff. Oh yeah, we're about overpaying. Yeah, I guess yeah. So I guess you got to see like think about where you want to start. Like what's your goal for like Batman, DC, like Detective Comics stuff, or DC Comics in general? Like what if you're just looking for like all right, you want to start collecting like those like working on those runs, then yeah, I would look like check some online retailers. Don't do Mile High Comics because their prices are their namesake. Like their prices are obscenely overpriced, and I don't understand why. Like their prices are literally mile high. Like even years ago when I like checking like comic books online, like those two sites were the first two I found online, and I saw my or Mile High Comics prices were just outrageous. Like I don't understand like how they managed to do that. I went to one of their locations when I was in Denver one year, but I think it was probably one of the smaller stores. It wasn't like their warehouse spot or whatever. But I would check like eBay, and I would try to do that. It depends on like first. Okay, so I ask you that again. Like where, like what's your goal? Like what are you trying to do as far as like Batman and DC Comics? And what are you hoping to like acquire? What are you looking to get? Is that what kind of that'll help solve some of that right there? That'll give you some good answers right there, and then you kind of worry about uh like pricing and the worries of overpaying after that. Because again, eBay is a great place to kind of gauge prices on a few things. If you get to conventions and you can stock up or you can like bundle up a bunch of stuff from one seller, like you can usually get a good deal that way. And I'm probably man, this is the comic market right now is just incredibly. It's just bursting right now. So a lot of things are like priced well above what they were worth even just a year ago, a year and a half ago. I scored a bunch of stuff early in the pandemic, and then a few months later, the market went crazy. So I like got in, I kind of dipped in and out really fast, and caught a bunch of cool Marvel books, a ton of Marvel books for cheap, or like cheaper than they're going for like over this past what 8, 10 months, give or take. So actually more than that, actually damn near a year. So Dream is a DC collection, but I don't mind indies. I just like the experience of the artwork and the simple but deep storyline. So yeah, if you want to just go back into like go into it like, all right, you know what, I want to collect DC or Batman, Detective Comics, or whatever DC series. Yeah, I would just look at either picking one or just kind of researching both of them and kind of see because if you can come up with a lot on eBay, uh, then you can usually find like runs or lots sets for a good price. Like people selling them for fraction of their like value basically. That'd be a good way to start and kind of help build your collection up right away. So that's something you should do. I would definitely just check eBay and mycomicshop.com to get an idea of the series or the stories and to kind of gauge some pricing. That's what I do too. Like I go check. Sometimes I'll go on eBay and I'll look up a book. I'm not even I might have one already, or just a book that I've heard about that I have no interest of getting, but I'm just curious to see what the hell people are paying for. Like, oh, people are paying that for that book? Oh, okay. And then like just leave it at that, like just for the sake of curiosity. So eBay is definitely a great tool. Uh, and then yeah, so as far as again, like anything, like the further you go back, the more you can end up paying. Uh, Bronze and then silver and golden age stuff. Oof, insane. Especially just Batman, Superman stuff are obviously just because of their stature, so ridiculous. Quick one. This one is Bitter Roots. Image first, Bitter Root. This was actually a pretty cool story. I want to check this out. So I had to find a trade for this. I like the art. It's a good looking book, and the concept is cool. I like this opening shot too. Oops. I have a lot of light there. But yeah, anybody read Bitterroot? I'll definitely. So I'm on the lookout for a trade, and I've looked at the single issues on mycomicshop.com. I think a lot of them are out of stock. But I know it's been around. I don't know what issue it's on right now, but 2020 Eisner Award winner, best continuing series. So that's cool. And again, kind of like this mix of books I'm showing you here. I'm all about mainstream and indie books, so I love it all. Like I've been mostly a Marvel guy, and then healthy selection of DC in my collection, and I pick up a bunch of indies from several different publishers: Image, Boom Studios, Vault Comics. I guess IDW, if you want to count IDW, Dark Horse, Aftershock, AWA, which stands for Artists, Writers, and Artisans, Black Mask, what else is Oni Press, I said Vault, Valiant. I feel like there's another one I frequent, but I always forget what it is. No, maybe I don't know. That might be all of them that I usually kind of hit. But yeah, so just tons mainstream, Marvel, all of that. Then I already showed that one. Next up, we have this is the last of some of the recent reads. Karnak. This is the 6th issue miniseries. The first book. This first one is my favorite of the cover. My favorite cover of the bunch. Here's number 2. Oops. 3. I like that one too. This one's cool too. This cover here. Number 4. Stained glass Karnak there. Oops. Number 6 or 5. Jumping ahead. And then number 6. So what I found out in this, which I didn't know, Karnak was never actually exposed to the Terrigen Mist. I had no idea. I thought it was a typical Inhuman like everybody else. I had no idea he was never exposed to the Terrigen Mist. So when I read it, I said, what? I had to stop and look it up. I was like, wow, how is that even a thing? Christian, what up? Yeah, Karnak, he's my favorite Inhuman. So like when I saw this one, those covers are just eye-catching, so I had to check this out. And it was a cool story. If you like Coulson, Agent Coulson, he's involved in this, Shield, and yeah, this was a interesting story, and I like the way it ended too. But yeah, I was just kind of blown away by the fact that he was never exposed to the Terrigen Mist, but I think his brother was. But yeah, it was a cool series. Only other thing, the bad thing is, it was written by Warren Ellis, and Warren Ellis is going through it right now because of his poor behavior. So I hate to shout out the book concerning his standing within the comic book community right now. But on the other hand, it was a good book. So I was like, oh, kind of torn. But yeah. So we got Christian Samuel, is it Gaho? And the Gal's Ministry. What up? Oh, oops, let's try this. So Karnak isn't a Terrigen Mist exposed human. What is his background? He just like what is it? Him and his brother. So his brother was, but then after I think either something happened with his brother. Oh, wait, who's his brother? It was his brother's another one of the humans. I forgot his name. Oh, Triton. Triton is his brother. So after Triton was exposed to the Terrigen Mist, his parents decided, we don't want that for you. So he was just never exposed to that. So what Karnak did was he was just he kind of went to like in this book, in this miniseries here, there's this Tower of Knowledge. What is it? Tower of something, Tower of Hope or Tower of Knowledge, something like that. What's his tower? And he's kind of I forgot the name. Like he has his title where he's like the leader there, and he has some other kind of, I don't want to say subjects, but disciples maybe you want to call them. And he went there as a kid, and he just kind of focused all of his ability, he just focused all of his energy into kind of harnessing his skill to not detect weaknesses, but to, what was it? Because I feel like that came later on now. Now I'm all confused. But he just kind of used, oh no, it was and he kind of uses his martial arts skill kind of tied in with that. But he just kind of went to this tower and just kind of focused all of his energies in that. So, and he uses that combined with his martial arts to strike at uh, the weakness of either people or apparently death. Because what was funny was this series took place after the Inhumanity series, and if you hadn't read that, spoiler alert, he kills himself at the end of the first issue. So he used his ability to find a weakness in death, and then he came back to life. So Carnage has been through it, which I just thought was hilarious. So like, okay, so this guy beat death. He was never actually a Terrigen exposed human. Like, this just made this dude even cooler, and he was already my favorite Inhuman. So I just thought that was hilarious. So, oh man, Karnak. Yeah, it is. I had to actually I think when I was reading it and I saw those points, I actually stopped and went to Google and I was like, I have to look this up. Like, this can't be serious. Like, how is this possible? I was like, oh, apparently it is. Like, it is absolutely wild. But yeah. So again, welcome to the stream. Really just kind of let me do something Friday fun. So talking about some books that I read. Karnak. Nice House on the Left, #1 from DC. Bitter Roots. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, #1. Everfrost, #1. Yeah, I found myself doing research. Yeah, I was wow, oh wait, what? That's for real? I'm like, hold on now, I have to go look that up immediately. Geiger, 1 and 2. And then Four Horsemen, this 4-issue miniseries, was the subject of my comic retrospective video that I dropped last week. So go check that out if you guys haven't. And then showing off a couple signed books because Jesse asked about a prized possession of mine. So I had to go with one of these Chris Bacalo books. Chris Bacalo. You know, I met him and I still don't know how to pronounce his last name. And he's one of my favorite creators. I think it's Bacalo. Sometimes I say Bacalo or Bacalo. Kind of varies depending on the moment. So yeah, what are you reading this week? What have you been reading? New, old, whatever you got. I think, did I read that? Did I read Everfrost last night? I think so. Everfrost, or I read Nice House on the Left and Supergirl a couple days ago. I don't even know. Yeah, I think some of those I've read this week, and then read the Four Horsemen last week. I read a couple of books tonight. I don't know which ones though. Kind of bouncing around. Yeah, I can feel that. So in Flashpoint, just finished the Captain Cold books. I didn't even. I'm trying to think how much of Flashpoint did I even read. I read the main series, their 5 issues, and let me see. I remember there were several tie-ins, but I don't remember how deep into that I got. I know I did for House of M was one event that I dug into. I was deep into as far as tie-ins and everything. That was the biggest one outside of maybe Age of Apocalypse. But yeah, I like Flashpoint. Did you watch you ever see the animated movie? I like that one. I like the art style of that too. Flashpoint. That seemed like such a lifetime ago. Jesus. That before or after New 52? Amazing Spider-Man. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh man, Carnage. Yeah. I have to. Oh man, they were hitting I like some of those the Batman Superman animated movies as well. Especially they tried to mimic the comic art style. I thought that was a cool touch. especially like the Ed McGuinness and Dexter Vines look, and then like Michael Turner and Peter Sagalov for the Supergirl, or what was it? I think they called it Batman Superman or Superman Batman Apocalypse. Like those were pretty good. But those are always nice to animated movies are always nice little touch. Trying to think what else. So I guess a couple of people in here. So updates. So I did kind of mention that in the title. Want to share a couple updates. Still disappointed that they ended the DC. Oh, well, they're yeah, like DC Warner Brothers are just insane. Like just the decisions they make. I don't understand like why. I don't, just kind of bouncing all over. I think they kind of realized like the I'm trying. What was the? Yeah, you know what? Never mind. I started thinking about the live action stuff. But yeah, as far as animated stuff, I don't think they are. I just imagine that it is kind of like one-off stuff because that probably could be far from the live action stuff. Like, all right, this universe we tried hasn't been well received, maybe, but I don't think they're that or I don't think they're that introspective. So who knows? They just could be just kind of winging it with the animated stuff and just kind of like, all right, we're gonna do this and do this. Because like, just look at the like Justice League Dark and like was there a Teen Titans one and like they're just kind of all over the place. So it's my understanding too, but Reddit seemed to be suggesting that they were. Yeah, like who even knows? I can tell you, I read it though. Reddit is an interesting community. Reddit is a lot of stuff on deck. So who knows? But yeah, so quick, I want to do an update. So after, well, I'll talk about that one later, but I will be rebranding the channel. I've kind of been weighing this one. Then I'm going to be rebranding it Geno's Comics, as well as my blog, which are both Geno the Dragon right now. But I'll keep my Twitter and my Instagram still Geno the Dragon. But I've already started I started a second Instagram profile for when I get back to selling books. And I think what I'm going to do with that and my other Twitter profile, which I used to have it was Comic Book Legends. I think I'm going to use both of those to kind of just share my other, like my main posts from my comic book stuff for people to have if they don't want to see like my personal content as far as on Instagram. So like, oh, they don't want to see me doing like non-comic book stuff. So I'll have that and share everything there. So if they just want to see all the comic book stuff from me, then they can do that for Geno's Comics. And then for the branding for the YouTube channel, I remember I said before I wasn't going to do it, but I'm kind of just mulling it around like, you know what, I think I will. And then I was doing a lot of thought after I dropped that video last week. And like, again, that Four Horsemen video, like that comic retrospective, which is something I've wanted to do for a while, just kind of digging into like comic stories and actually talking more about comic stories and not just having video after video showing out books, because I don't get that many books in, so I would never be able to keep that up consistently. So like I dropped that video and then again, it did terrible for views. I was like, what? All this time, I spent all this time making this video, editing it, putting it together, and it just went absolutely missed, or like it just went absolutely to hell. So yeah, I'm like, you know what? Part of that, just thinking, I was like, you know what? We're gonna change this to Geno's Comics, and I feel like part of it, not the branding of it, but maybe it probably just like confused people seeing it too. So like, I'm like, and I'm not that attached to it for at least for the YouTube channel. So I'm like, you know what? I can change it, and I'll be all right. And I think Geno's Comics will having a Geno's Comics will help with reach and kind of growth a little bit there. So here's hoping. I wanted to do that now, but I don't know if I'll be able to even do it while I'm live. Let's see. I'll probably do it after. But yeah, so it'll be Geno's Comics on YouTube, and then my blog will be Geno's Comics as well. So I'm changing both of those from Geno the Dragon. And then I want to get back into writing reviews and interviewing. I got some creators I want to reach out to do some interviews with and see if they want to do one on video or like written, so I can post it on the blog. So we'll kind of see. Definitely putting the work into producing content. Like it's just, man, I appreciate that because like it was just wild. Like, and I said this before, like the previous 2 weeks, I was like, you know what, let me just do this. And I didn't say anything. I just kind of did it. I went back into uploading daily videos for like 2 weeks from Monday through Friday. And I was like checking the views on them. I was like, okay. And then as soon as I did that Four Horsemen video, that shit just dropped. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I just don't understand. It's like, I don't know if it was like branding or just people saw it and just didn't care. But that was like, I put a lot. I mean, it wasn't like crazy as far as, it wasn't like wildly imaginative as far as editing. But what I did was, for that video anyway, I took a bunch of pictures of like panels from those 4 issues of Four Horsemen, and like I had to edit each of those and like find a good spot, find the perfect spot in the video to like overlay them, and it took insane amount of time. Something I could have only done right now while it's summer, while I have even more time. So, and then I was like, all right, I did all that, and I said, you know what, I can't do everyday content anymore because it takes too much time. And I realized like the balance from like reading, and I just stopped. So I didn't even upload a video on Friday, and I just read comics. Like that's all I did. Like that day, not the whole day, but then like Saturday morning, I woke up and I just read some comics. I was like, I'm not doing like anything like this. I'm just stopping. So I think I'm just gonna scale back and then work on like rebrand and then work on doing stuff for the blog as well. So right now on my blog, which is still just GENOTHADRAGON.wordpress.com, I do on Wednesdays, or I try to do on Wednesdays, my comic cover art post, comic cover art of the week. So I just go through all the weekly releases and I pick my favorite comic cover art, or my favorite comic covers, and put them on there. And I have another post from 2 weeks ago about conventions. Oh, I did one for New York Comic Con too. Or no, that was a video. Never mind. Yeah. So I definitely want to give my blog some more attention. So I'm going to give you more views on that video, bro. You seem devastated by the views. It was. I was just shocked. I was like comic, like if you do comic, when I do comic haul view like videos, those ones definitely get more like people want to see comics. Okay, but then it was like I wanted to actually talk about one of the stories, and I feel like part of it was because it wasn't easily recognizable, and part of it also is like branding and my thumbnails are I'm never like satisfied with how I do thumbnails. Like I'm just never like I can never get them like to express like what I'm trying to like do with the video or something like that. So I always struggle with the thumbnails and put more, I don't know. But yeah, it was like what like views compared to that was insane. Oops, try that. I know nothing about YouTube's algorithms, but I don't think you should feel an obligation to release daily videos. I certainly get behind them, but I always try to at least drop a like. Yeah, that's part of it too. Like there's just like I watch a lot of like I'm subscribed to quite a few channels, not even just comic stuff, but several other channels covering different things. And like there's no way I can keep up with all this stuff. So I feel that too. I'm like, there's no way. And then I'm like, do I like, so I was trying to find a balance there. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna scale back. It's definitely for the best for myself and my schedule. Oops, get that out of there. But yeah, so but I definitely appreciate the support, especially from YouTube. So these are definitely two of my frequent supporters now. I always appreciate that and appreciate anybody who like subs and engages with the content and like drops comments and like thoughtful shit too. So I always appreciate that. So much thanks to both of you. And I always get a bot too on like there's these bots that hit everybody's channels. Like they're usually like the first comment, and it's usually like it'll be like a timestamp and then a link to some who knows where nobody's actually clicking that thing. Like we're not crazy. So like these damn bots are out of control too. They're just dropping spam links on everybody's damn videos. It's insane. So YouTube, get it under control. Where we at now? We're at hour 5. Oh my goodness. I can get out of here and go eat something. I'm gonna read some comics. I need to eat dinner. So you are changing the name of the channel, not starting. No, I'm just changing the name. So it'll just be Geno's Comics. And I meant to try to do that while I was streaming or right before, but I'll probably do it sometime this weekend. So next week, when I start, or my uploads for next week, it'll all be under the new name, and then I'll have changed the name of my blog this weekend too. So I have to still do my post for this week. So yeah, not starting a new one. I did think about that at one point though. I was brainstorming, I was like, you know what? Like, what would happen if I just started all over again? Like, that would just be a wild experiment. Want to find out local? Want to find out? Yeah, right. Want to find out local ladies in your area? Click here, right? And then all of a sudden, your all your info is beamed across the galaxy or something like that. I had to go through and I like just the amount of like bots that I've like reported, blocked, and removed from my comment sections are insane. There's always at least one, and I wish I had. I don't have a picture of it, candidly, but there was at one point where it was like I would get several on the same video, like 3, 4 bots on the same video, and it would be like hearts, like heart emojis, and either some random comment like, "Oh, hey you," or "Want to be friends," or something like that. Like, get out of here, you're a bot. Get out of here. Go away. Leave me alone. That type of thing. It's like, what is going on YouTube? So yeah, that's what else? But yeah, I will kind of share with that next week because I want to have. I have to get back into my old Twitter accounts, and so I have 2 Twitters and 2 Instagrams, and then my other Instagram I've already started, and I got a couple of posts on there, but I'm going to use that to share some of the comic content from my personal profile, just to kind of so people don't want to see that. I'm sure they stick out even though they try hard to blend. Yeah, right. Like, and it's just I think one of the first ones. Sometimes they'll kind of fool you because I think it'll say I'm trying to think it was the old one, but then they started doing like heart emojis everywhere. Like, come on, nobody's believing that. Like, obviously you are a bot. Go away. But they'll just say like, "Oh, nice video," and I was like, the first time I think I saw that I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Then it was like the same comment on the same video, or it would just be some other weird off-putting thing. It's like, wait a second, it's not a real person. This is a bot. Like just some weird ass comment. Like, what is going on? Damn Skynet trying to take us out. But yeah, so I'll do all that. And then yeah, we're just gonna see how it goes. So there's a couple of updates there. But yeah, probably get ready to wrap this up so I can go eat dinner. I'm also watching the 4400 on Netflix right now. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that, but I decided to stick with it, and I'm actually been entertained by it. So probably watch another episode of that. I should go see Black Widow. I might go see Black Widow. Has anybody seen that? I should be able to go see that. Maybe catch that next week, like on a. I was like going to movies during the daytime when nobody's there, usually, especially now. But I'm certainly not paying for it on. You saw it this past week, and what'd you think of it? I was going to my father. There you go. Little bonding time, movie bonding time. I used to go when I was in middle school, like elementary, middle school, and maybe in high school. Me and my mom used to go to the movies on Sundays. You just see some of the craziest shit. Anybody remember Johnny Mnemonic? Who was that? At Keanu Reeves, Ice-T. It was an absolutely ridiculous sci-fi movie. It was terrible. That's what's the other one? Oh, Battlefield Earth is one of one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, and it's like with John Travolta. It's the worst movie I've ever paid to see. I always talk about that when I see that people talk about that on Twitter. Like, oh, what's the worst movie you paid to see? And they shut off all these movies. I'm like, nope, I got you all beat. Battlefield Earth is an awful movie. Just awful. Everything about that is just bad. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. I liked it. The barometer is that I liked it more than I expected to. Not that I expected this. Like I feel that. So I'll probably maybe go see that next week. Kind of check it out. Yeah, it's Dynamite. It was. Oh man, like, I haven't seen it in so long. Years. Like, yeah, matter of fact, I probably haven't seen it since I was a kid. I probably saw it one time after the movies, but like chunks of it. Well, I don't remember a whole lot of it. I just remember it wasn't that great. And I usually eat up like sci-fi stuff, especially as a kid. Yeah, you know what's funny too about Battlefield Earth? I don't recall ever seeing the trailer when I was younger. Like I don't remember that, but I watched it. I think a couple years ago. I was like, let me look up the trailer because I didn't remember it, and I was like, this trailer is awful. Like, how do I not remember this as like from being a kid? Maybe I never saw it as a kid, and just kind of went and just thought like, oh, John Travolta. Hey, there's a space movie. Let's go see it. I don't remember that trailer. That was bad. Like if I saw that trailer now, I would have never gone to see that movie. Insane. I never saw the recall reading about it or watching videos making fun of it. I don't recall what the source is. I'm pretty sure there are probably a bunch of them because anybody who like saw that in theaters probably regretted spending however many dollars that ticket costs on it. What you actually paid to see Battlefield? Yeah, I always heard legends of its. I was a kid. I think it came out I was in elementary school maybe. What year was this? Battlefield Earth. I don't know what year this was. Oh, that was 2000. What? I was 16. Wow. Oh, that makes it even worse. Yeah, I was 16. Yeah, I was definitely. I don't remember that being that. I think I was like earlier in the 90s, like mid 90s. But yeah, 2000. Oh my goodness, yeah, I was 16 for that. That's bad. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Battlefield Earth is the movie Battlefield Earth is a movie I stumbled upon and curiously watched it, and yet have fun watching it. Wait, huh? It's a movie I stumbled upon and curiously watched it, and yet. Oh, I mean, it could be. I haven't seen anything outside of the trailer in the last. The trailer is the only thing I've seen of it since I saw it in a movie theater. So I don't know, like if sat down and watched any part of it, I have no idea what I would feel watching it. I would just like, oh my goodness. Oh, wait, there we go. I missed a couple comments. Battlefield Earth was based, yeah, Battlefield was based on Scientology. I don't think Red Letter Media ever talked about it. Who's Red Letter Media? Forrest Whitaker was in that too. What? That reminds me of tricking a friend into watching The Room. Wow, you are a super villain. You are a super villain. Is that wait? Which one is The Room? Oh, that's the one with is it Tommy Wiseau? I think is that the name? Oops, get out of here. There we go. Yeah, I feel like is that Tommy Wiseau? I know there's two movies. I think there's The Room and then there's Room. I think this isn't. Or am I thinking of the one that Okay, but then there's the one. What's the one with what's Captain Marvel's actress's name? I forgot her name. She was in a movie. I don't remember her name. Actress. What's her name? Brie Larson. She was in a movie that has Room in the title too. What was that? Room. I don't know what that is. Yeah, Brie Larson. She was in a movie that has Room in the title too. So whenever I hear one of them, I think of the other one. Oh yeah, that one was just called Room. It wasn't The Room. It was just called The Room. So Room and The Room. I wonder if I can. I think I can show it. I think of Silent Hill, The Room, which I like a lot. Silent Hill. Speaking of Silent Hill, I think that first movie is underrated, and one of the probably in the running for best video game adaptation if they would have cut out all the Sean Bean stuff because I felt like his role in that was just useless and it just padded the movie and it just made it drag on. But if you got rid of like all the Sean Bean parts in the first Silent Hill movie, it would have been a cool ass movie. It would have been fine. They just had to mess that up. I never actually played any of the Silent Hill games though. I don't even think. Let me see. I was never big into horror games really though, outside of Resident Evil and Evil Within and a couple others, Dead Space maybe. Yeah, like I always like to go back and watch the scene with the night nurses, like as they're kind of stumbling through. Like that was cool as hell. Hey, no problem, Jesse. You heading out? Must wrap up here in a second anyway. Uh, yeah, good luck on like hunting and whatever you decide to do with Batman and your DC collection. A lot of books out there, so that's the only thing good is that's a lot of good hunting for you. You got a lot of choices and to kind of track down stuff. Yeah, those have been big hits. So they just did three. I guess they cut a lot of content from three, which had a lot of people upset or just kind of curious, like why they did that. They cut out sections of the game and just certain elements of it. And a lot of people are like, why would they do that? So I don't know. But Resident Evil 2, I remember that when I got that one for my birthday. Me and my cousin finished that. I started it, and me and my cousin finished it together. That was a wild ride. The crows. Every time, as a matter of fact, every time I hear crows, like in real life, I always think about crows from Resident Evil. Like I just always do, like instantly. That disappoints me a lot. I own the original, but never completed it. I remember I played part of it with my cousin, and those damn dogs jumping in the window scared the hell out of both of us. It was probably shortly after it released. We were like, whoa, like this dog jumping through those damn windows, like scared the shit out of both of us. It was wild. All right, so what we got? Hour 17. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and wrap it up. If I had played the original, I probably would not have enjoyed the third remake as much. Maybe, I don't know. You think so? Maybe. You gonna play the remake of the first? Did you play the remake of the first? Oh wait, you're talking about the original RE3. Never mind. Or you really okay? I got what you mean now. I got confused for a second. Okay, I get what you're saying now. I guess you could, if you did though, you would kind of get to kind of experience like the changes from the controls and just kind of seeing what 20 plus years of evolution as far as design and controls from like the tank combat and the what's the word I'm looking for, like the rendered backgrounds and the fixed camera angles kind of thing, and just kind of seeing the evolution there. But yeah, we're getting ready to wrap up. Thank everyone, Guys Ministry, Sir Jesse, Christian, for hopping in. I would have been much more disappointed with the publication. Oh yeah, that's true. So that's a big point. Yeah, because I remember I didn't play the original. I didn't play the remake either. Or I was reading about it, and I was thinking why, and had to look it up. Like why would they? And I kept watching videos. I had those ready. I'm waiting for one other person to respond. So I wanted to ship all those out together because going to the post office is it's a bit of a trek. So I didn't want to. So I was just kind of waiting. So sorry about the delay, but I haven't heard from the third person yet. So I just end up shipping out the other two. But yeah, those are ready. Oh hey, North Garden, what's going on? How you doing? Happy Friday to all of you. Top Benedict, North Garden. What's it? Oh, we're talking about Resident Evil 3, the remake. But yeah, I kept seeing all that stuff when it was being released, and people were kind of upset about that. And I just thought that was just seems like such a weird design choice. Like cut out that content. So, like especially, I know it was a location for at least one part of it. So like, just why? Why would you do that? But you're like all the other ones, like the first two were such big hits, and you do the third one, and you do that, and you make all these other changes. It was just I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, appreciate everyone for stopping by, even just quickly to say hi. again, this was like, let me do something Friday fun and show off a couple of things. I showed off a stack of books here and some other books, some books that I recently read. Yeah. So if you haven't, go check out my Four Horsemen comic retrospective video from last week, and let me know what you thought of that. And if you'd like to see more stuff like that, and whatever you're gonna do, have some fun this weekend, enjoy yourselves, read some comics, play some games, watch, do whatever you're gonna do. Have some fun, stay safe. Appreciate everyone for subscribing, checking out the content, watching, and jumping into the stream to support. I always appreciate that, the support and the engagement. So thank all of you very much. And everyone have a good weekend. So peace out.